Abilities are a pivotal part of success to many Pokemon. While some can suffice and succeed without a useful ability, there are mons that really only thrive thanks to having a great one. But I was going past a few mons and was thinking, this mon should have this ability, and for others, this mon could have this ability. Now I thought of a lot of mons that need help, so this will probably be a 2 or 3 video series. They're mostly lower tier mons. A lot of these mons are just outclassed at their rules due to not having very useful options for abilities. Some of the mons in this video are still solid and have decent abilities, but I wanted to give them another one to add some versatility to the sets they could run. I also wanted to stay true to the mon's design and have it fit theme-wise, so I'm not just going to slap on overpowered abilities for the sake of it. We will be realistic in these videos. Let's get started. This first one is a combo I've heard from many people. It's for the lovable Gen 2 starter Feraligatr, and look at how fierce this mon's chomper looks. Surely with an alligator or crocodile mon, we would have the strong jaw ability, right? It gets sheer force. Okay, I guess that's still pretty good, but this mon should have access to strong jaw. With access to a few good biting moves, this could be a good alternative to sheer force hits. You would lose your sheer force boost on liquidation, but your biting moves would be boosted by 50% rather than 30%, and your moves with secondary effects would be able to proc. A crunch or liquidation defense drop could be pretty clutch. This could work solidly on banded sets, maybe on Gator's setup sets too, but I think the sheer force liquidation is the main redeemable aspect this mon has going for it. You could give this ability to Crocodile too, but I think with Intimidate and Moxie, it already has superior abilities to use. The next mon we're going to cover is Sandslash, a Gen 1 ground type that has struggled to be relevant competitively for many generations. I think a lot of this stems from the fact that both of Sandslash's abilities are dependent on Sandstorm being active. Outside of weather, this mon effectively has no ability, which sucks because it does have a lot of other solid traits. Since Sandville gets banned in singles for being an evasion ability, I say we replace that with something. I was thinking Tough Claws, which is pretty fitting because look at how tough those claws are. Tough Claws boosts all contact moves by 30%. This wouldn't boost its Earthquake unfortunately, but Sandslash does have high horsepower as a good alternative and probably better option for doubles. This would get boosted to 123.5 base power, making it stronger than even Headlong Rush without any side effects except for maybe the 5% accuracy. This would also boost common support moves like Rapid Spin and Knockoff, which coming off Sandslash's solid base 100 attack would hit decently hard. Some other moves like Leech Life, Poison Jab, and Double Edge would get a solid boost and give this mon a bigger variety of moves to use. I don't think this would make Sandslash a high tier threat by any means, but it could definitely bump this mon up a tier and give it niche viability. Now this next mon is not fully evolved, but I still think it could use an ability change. This is for Doublade, the pre-evolution of Aegislash. While Aegislash has its unique stance change ability, Doublade and Hone Edge for some reason have the no guard ability. Usually a pretty great ability on mons like Machamp or Mega Pidgeot that can spam inaccurate high base power attacks worry-free. But Doublade doesn't have those. All the moves it would normally run are already 100% accurate. It would let you hit a Rock Slide or Toxic, sure, but it's more of a detriment of an ability since opponent's attacks will never miss as well. What I was thinking is we give this mon, and even Hone Edge, the ability Sharpness. They are swords after all, and get access to a solid number of slicing moves. This would be a huge upgrade over No Guard, and with Doublade's great bulk thanks to Eviolite, it could help this not fully evolved mon have a niche in middle tiers. Sacred Sword would become the preferred option over close combat, being stronger and not dropping Doublade's defenses, while Night Slash, Psycho Cut, and Aerial Ace would be solid coverage options. Fury Cutter could be interesting too since this mon is bulky enough to take a few hits and build it up, but I think a Sword Stance set with Shadow Sneak would be the way to go. This could also help Hone Edge and Little Cup as it seems to struggle there despite having a solid typing and good defense. I've been going off about offensive ability buffs so far, so I'd like to change it up a bit and add a defensive one to the mix. The mon I'm going to try to help is Vespiquen, a very forgettable mon due to being terrible competitively with that nasty ×4 weakness to Stealth Rocks, along with a few other common weaknesses. This mon could be usable in lower tiers if it had a bit more help. I don't think we could really give it a fitting ability to make it top tier, but I'll do my best. The most fitting ability to add to this mon would be Serena's signature ability, Queenly Majesty. Queenly Majesty protects this mon and allies from opposing priority moves. It obviously is fitting theme-wise, and would be more useful than Pressure and Unnerve almost always. Vespiquen isn't fast by any means, meaning most mons wouldn't need to use priority against it, but it could be a good support mon against priority. It would stifle prankster mons first of all, and in scenarios where you have a faster mon threatened by a priority move, you could safely switch Vespiquen in blocking the move. With access to spikes and toxic spikes now, a slow U-turn, and reliable recovery, this mon could carve out a small niche in lower tiers. We've seen Feraligatr find use in VGC being able to block moves like Fake Out with Armor Tail, so maybe Vespiquen could be an alternative. Back to offensive abilities, we have Rampardos, a mon that shows us that you can have a sky-high attacking stat, but if you don't have the other tools in your arsenal, then it doesn't mean too much. Now the abilities it has now aren't terrible. Mold Breaker could be alright with certain moves, and Sheer Force boosts a lot of good attacks. But this mon was built to be a glass cannon and should be going for maximum damage. You probably know where I'm going with this since I said this mon, but we are going to give Rampardos the Rockhead ability, which prevents this mon from taking recoil damage. Basically what you want to do with this mon is slap a Choice Scarf on it to outspeed non-scarfed or boosted mons up to 111 base speed. Then you're going to spam the super powerful Head Smash and hope to hit. Spray and pray, baby. Pretty much a one-trick pony, as even a resisted Head Smash will hit harder than almost all neutral coverage moves. Rampardos can't really do this now because the amount of recoil it would take makes it too susceptible to priority, faster mons revenge killing it, and limited switch-ins from hazards. We've seen Hisuian Arcanine use this combo to great success, as it also has Flare Blitz to spam, so we can look at Rampardos as a poor man's Arcanine, or juiced up Sudowoodo, which I personally prefer. Now I have plenty more mons I want to cover in other videos, so if you are enjoying the video, I'd appreciate you hitting the like button, and even leaving some suggestions on abilities you'd like to see added to mons. For the next mon, I'm not sure if this ability would actually make this mon much better, but it seems so fitting to me that I want to mention it anyways. I'm going to give the child predator Pokemon Hypno the ability Bad Dreams. Any sleeping foes lose 1/8 of their max HP at the end of each turn. This has been Darkrai's signature ability since it was released, but Hypno's whole shtick is putting people to sleep and feasting on their dreams. This is sure to cause bad dreams, and I think after Darkrai, this is the most fitting mon to get this ability. The downside to this ability is Hypno doesn't have a reliable way to put opponents to sleep. Hypnosis is pretty much a coin flip, and the only sleep-inducing move Hypno has access to. Some cool concepts that I came up with are combining the shaky accuracy of Hypnosis with Blunder Policy, which would give you a +2 speed boost if you miss. This would likely allow you to outspeed any non-Scarfers and give you a shot to miss Hypnosis again. You could also combine Hypnosis with Telekinesis, which would guarantee your Hypnosis to land, but this comes at the expense of a move slot, and the opponent be able just to switch out of the effect. If you could simply land the Hypnosis, or combine Hypno with a Pokemon with Spore, that would definitely be ideal, as this mon is decently tanky on the special side, so you could run a full physical bulk set with Calm Mind, Hypnosis, and a couple coverage attacks or support moves like Substitute with the item leftovers. The chip damage from Bad Dreams could force switches and allow setup opportunities. I have a fun one for the next ability. It's going to go to the mostly forgotten musical bird, Chatot. Chatot wasn't in Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield, and was only available via Pokemon Bank in Sun and Moon. It was available in BDSP and Legends Arceus at least, but I feel like this mon needs a bit of love. It's mostly renowned for its signature move, Chatter, a weak flying type move that always causes confusion, and used to play a soundbite the players themselves could record. Cool idea, but definitely should have seen how abusable this feature could be. Anyways, as far as actual abilities this mon has, it has 3 of the most generic slap-on abilities flying types get. Keen Eye is pretty much useless competitively, as we don't see too many interactions with evasion boosting or accuracy drops. Tangled Feet is also terrible, as it doubles your evasion as long as you're confused. Then its hidden ability Big Pecs prevents other mons from lowering your defense, which I don't see being that helpful, as Chatot's defense already looks like it's been lowered a few times. This mon needs an offensive ability to help it do anything, as its only passable traits are an okay speed and special attack stat. This is why we're going to give this musical bird the ability Punk Rock. Originally Toxtricity's signature ability, Punk Rock boosts the power of sound-based moves by 30% while also taking half damage from sound-based attacks. What this could do for this mon is make it a frailer, but faster and stronger Exploud with less coverage options, but a way more powerful Boom Burst. Boom Burst is already super powerful at 140 base power, but after Punk Rock, this becomes a 182 base power attack, and adding the stab bonus, we get a super strong 273 base power move. This would be Chatot's go-to move, but it also boosts his signature move Chatter from 65 base power to a decent 84.5 power with a guaranteed confusion. Other than these sound-based moves, Chatot only gets Uproar, Hyper Voice, Echoed Voice, Round, and Snore, all just worse than Boom Burst. If they brought this to life, I feel like it could get access to the new moves Alluring Voice and Psychic Noise, giving it solid coverage options. Here's a set I think would be good for this mon. The last mon I'm going to cover for this video is a mon I previously put as a failed cross-generation evolution. You can check out that video after this one. Actually, I have a whole playlist with these types of discussion videos if you enjoy them. But we're going to finish off with the Blast Pokemon Magmortar. This is another obvious one. While Flame Body isn't a bad ability, this mon doesn't really have the physical bulk or any recovery to take advantage and spread burns. I still think it's more useful than Vital Spirit though, as that prevents falling asleep. We are going to replace this with Mega Launcher since, you know, this Pokemon has a big cannon of an arm it can shoot attacks from. This ability boosts the power of Aura and Pulse moves by 50% and is seen on mons like Clawitzer and Mega Blastoise. The thing with Magmortar though is it doesn't really get any of these moves that take advantage of it, but we see move additions all the time, so if we had Magmortar with Mega Launcher, we could see Aura Sphere and Dark Pulse no problem. I'd throw Terrain Pulse in there as well, but probably not Dragon Pulse. The main move I'd want to see Magmortar get access to is Armor Cannon, which is Armor Rouge's signature move. It's a 120 base power special fire type move that lowers the user's defenses similar to close combat. We'll also go ahead and make this move boosted by Mega Launcher, since currently it doesn't seem like it would be, although it definitely should. This would blow any other attack Magmortar is currently using out of the water, as Fire Blast is weaker and can miss. Armor Cannon may lower defenses, but it's a safer move and will work nicely on choice sets to inflict huge damage. I could see a spot for Magmortar as a wall breaker with this combo, as its 125 base special attack and decent 83 speed can let it break through defensive teams. It could even run a set with Flame Charge and coverage moves to really pressure teams. That's going to wrap up the first installment of this mini-series. Feel free to become a bud and hit that sub to get notified for new videos. If you like this video, make sure to check out this video next. Peace out, buds.